the XTOOL IP819. Cracking bit of kit. Hi there, thanks for joining me today. Got a right little treat. We have here the XTOOL IP819 Diagnostics scanner tool. Now this is supposed to be the dogs. The dog's danglies. Yeah, it does loads of stuff. Bi-directional, key programming, ECU programming, DPF regeneration, and all the rest of it. Let's get it out of the box and have a look. First of all, I have to say that is a really nice case that it comes with. Nice metal latches on it. We've got some cables, connectors, charging sockets, hard wire. And then under there, in that lovely foam protection, we've got the tool. Isn't that nice? Got some nice protection on the sides of it. Really handy, nice feel to it. We'll have the screen protector off. You just got to love pulling those off. Oh, what a feeling. Let's get it powered up. In the box we get a nice transformer, USB charger with different sockets, American and European. We've got the USB cable as well. We can plug that in and stick it in the wall. Right, we've got the XTOOL, we've just powered it up. I'll plug it into the, we've got EOBD socket that needs to go into the car. And we'll need to do some updates on it. Now these are 3 years free updates. There's 260 odd for the first time you turn it on. But they do come through quickly on the Wi-Fi. This machine is fast. You can see how quickly they're loading up. But there is a lot of updates. So it takes around 2 hours. That's also, if you plug it in the wall, charge it up as well. 2 hours to charge an update. Right, let's have a quick whiz through some of the functions on it and see what we've got. We can go into the EOBD General, that's for all vehicles, and we can go more specific with everything that's in the list. We've got Europe, Asia, America and China. You can actually click into those and it'll narrow things down a bit so you can find your car a bit easier. We're Europe, obviously. This is a BMW, so let's just pop it into there. You can select what your vehicle is, automatic selection, and then it'll find the VIN number, it'll do a readout for you. And there we go, E91 2010, really fast chassis number and everything, so we know that the specific information is going to be right. We can do an automatic scan, we can actually select a system. We can go for drivetrain, engine system, convenience entry, or electric fuel pump, chassis, dynamic stability control or power steering, ABS. Let's have a look in the ABS. We can read the information. So that's just telling you that it's talking to the car and what the ECU is. We've got trouble codes, read trouble codes and live data, which is interesting. Let's have a look, see what we can do. Can we actually go into wheel sensors? Wheel speed sensors is what we like to see. Oh, look at this, and it's going to tell us every individual speed sensor that we've got. Now these do suffer with problems on the rear rings. The system does not recognise the direction of rotation. But we can look at all 4 of those. We can drop that into a graph, which is fantastic. Now if you're driving and you want to check these are all doing the same thing, we can actually move the car. As you can see there, they're all picking up the speed that we're doing. And straight away from that, you can see this one, which is the rear speed sensor on the right hand side, doesn't look as smooth and lovely as all the others. See, that one's very smooth and perfect. That one is a bit off. So we've got front, rear left, rear right. So it's these two are the rear ones. The front two should be quite good because they don't seem to give problems, but these two are the ones that we're looking at. And you can see from that image there how corrupt this one is. So if I was going to have an issue with the car, and I would definitely be looking at that one to be the one to replace, or have another look at the ABS ring. I did do a repair on this one, but you can see from that it's not as good as it could be. Although it's working, it's not as perfect as it would be if it was a new one. That's really clever, really interesting information. We can cancel that. Go back. We've got tyre pressure sensors if you have them fitted to the car. The steering angle sensor. We've got actuation tests as well, so we can actually fire up the ABS pump if we wanted to do that. This is bi-directional. This machine is a bi-directional tool. It can make actuators work on the car as well as taking information, which really takes it above and beyond a lot of the regular code readers. It's got a lot of power. It can do a lot of take a lot of information for us and give us functions. Okay, let's go back out of that one then. Let's have a look at the engine. So we can get fault codes and everything on the engine, but we can also have a look at live data on this. Let's have a look at the engine stop start, see what that says. On some vehicles you can actually disable the stop start system. So it's giving us things that, information there that is all to do with the engine stop start, things that it looks at, engine rotation, gear position, brake vacuum sensor, brake vacuum pressure sensor. Now you see this is the one that's giving me problems again. This one isn't working, it's giving us nothing at all. So that is the Amazon one that was, yeah, I need to get a BMW one for that because that one is giving us problems. I did do a video on that one. So we've got exhaust system. Let's have a look at this one, see if we can get some information on the... So regeneration request. Regeneration is not requested. There we go. Exhaust back pressure. Calculated particulate filter remaining miles 0 because it needs regenerating. We have got to do that. Exhaust running time since regeneration, it's been 2 hours since it tried to do a regeneration. Exhaust back pressure is -3. Let's try wrapping it up. Look at that, it's fantastic. Straight away it gives us a great reading and indication as to what we're looking at. Gives us exhaust gas temperature before the particulate filter. Then we can click into operating parameters, and this gives you information that's going on live at the minute, and you can obviously alter things brake pedal switch, you could press the pedal and that would then say active. If you've got a faulty brake light, then this is a really simple way of realising if it's the switch or not. You can, without getting a multimeter out, you can test that switch without having to test for voltages. Okay, let's go out of this one. We're going to let's have a look in special functions. We've got all of these special functions that will allow us to have a look at. Not all of them work on every car, but there's a great deal of stuff in there. The stop-start function was only available for the FAW and the VW range. If you've got TPMS, we've got some instrument cluster. You can do mileage reset or mileage balance on some cars, mileage adjustment, call it what you want. Again, it won't do it on everything, but it will do it on some vehicles. You can learn, if you put a gearbox in and you need to get it to learn that, then it can do that, gear learning. Electronic pump activation, oil reset your service lights on your oil. If you've got ABS seats and stuff, you can match the seats up. ABS bleeding, which is to get the pump working. Injector coding, which is great when if you've got to swap out injectors and need to recode them. If you put a new battery in the car, which we did on this one, and you need to reset the battery, then you can do that on here as well. And I think we can adjust the battery as well. Displays history of battery replacement. Replace with higher or lower capacity battery, which is what we did. Got key programming. I absolutely love this warning message that comes up here. XTOOL will not be liable for any mental harm caused by the use of this machine. You go to code your key, get it wrong, and you can't get it in your car. Have a mental breakdown. So we'll go auto select on this one. And it says turn on the hazard switch. And it's obviously trying to pinpoint the ECU and the coding bit. And there you go, you can generate keys. Cracking bit of kit. So we can actually, like I say, generate keys either via the socket or it'll do it by EEPROM and reprogram the ECU. Let's get back to the main menu and have a look at more special functions. If we've got electronic parking brake, we could do that. Yeah, it's nice to have a machine to retract the pistons. Tyre upgrade. No, it's not got that for this one. We could do auto scan on the car. This will read every system on the vehicle if you want it to, or you can go more specific. We can do a system selection, or again it goes through that system, or we can check automatic and it'll go through everything. So it's found a couple of system issues here. If we go into diagnosis on this one, we've got an issue with the diesel particulate system and the filter, which we know we've got to do the regen on that. And the vacuum signal on that one is not right, which we're going to have to figure that one out. And like I say, replace the sensor for a new one. We can turn on the electric fan. That's the only actuator it's allowing us to do on this one. We've also got a fault code on here with the junction box electronic system there, so we'll go into that and we can have a quick peek at the trouble code stored there, and that's current at the minute. There is one in there, so we can go back and we can have a look at the live data and see what's going on, and it gives you all the controls that this junction box uses, that it's all the actuators and switching that it's controlling. We can go into the DTC system there and just check out what functions we've got with that one and what data we can see. I've just shown you the button and we can prove if that's active by pressing it. You can see when I press this, it knows, like, you know, when I press it, it kicks it in. So you can actually check these systems out live as you're actually doing it. We can also go into the bus signal, which is the CAN bus network on the car, which is basically like a Wi-Fi system hardwired around the car, all the ECUs talking to each other, and you can see from that whether the wires have got a break, a poor connection, just by looking at those figures and seeing what's good and what's not. You can see from this it's looking at battery voltage, fuel level sensors, right and left hand side of the fuel tank, coolant level, screen wash level. It's talking to everything, so you can really have a good look and it tells you what's good and what's not. Cleaning level, coolant level. Okay, let's go back and see if we can't sort out this DPF issue. So we'll go in there, do a fast scan, we'll just get the codes out, and the one we're interested in is the 452A, I believe it was. Yeah, there we go, particulate filter system. So let's use the machine and go into Google. Now along the bottom of the screen here we've got these functions. We've got screen capture, where it will do a screenshot. We've obviously got volume, we've got back arrow, takes you back, we've got home screen, we've got the screen where it locks you into all the different tabs you got open. Bluetooth menu, we've got the XTOOL menu, which is that one, and then a recording menu as well. But obviously we've got this fault code on the car and we need to check that out. We want to go online, so we can just open up the tab and it will take us through to the World Wide Web, and we could be able to go into here and just search for BMW fault, and there's the answer to his problem. So the XTOOL scanners gave us the fault code. It's told us what the fault is, the 452 particular filter. We've been online with the machine again. It just connects to your Wi-Fi, you straight through. And the DPF filter's got a lifespan on it, believe it or not. So BMW program into the car a specific amount of time that filter will last. Once that time's gone, the fault code comes on, it puts the light on the dashboard, and it won't go off until you've actually told it you've replaced the DPF filter. Lucky for us though, the XTOOL machine can do that. So even though we've checked the figures on it, we know the DPF filter is working fine, BMW have still programmed in that it's going to need replacing. We're not going to do that. We're going to tell it that we've replaced it, but we're going to keep the old one on there because it is working perfectly. And hopefully this is going to save us a couple of £1,000 at the dealers. New filter, it's, God, yeah, at least £2,000 to have it changed, and labour and everything else. So this could really save us a lot of problems. Let's get on it. Okay, so let's go into special function. I'm going to DPF. Okay, we've got Europe, so we've got BMW. We'll press the ignition switch, get that powered up. The lights on the dash. So with the fault codes that we've got, the DPF has come to end of life. BMW set a specific figure for how many miles or how many rotations of the engine the DPF will last for. So with this now, we can actually reset this back to 0. It thinks it's got a new DPF on it, and we continue driving the car because there's nothing wrong with it. The DPF is still working fine. So if we just go to reset value and continue. Are you sure you want to? Yes, we do. We want to reset. There we go. End of function. Job done. DPF fault should now be gone. So if we start the car up now, we shouldn't have a DPF light on with a bit of luck. Nothing. And let's go back to fault codes within the system. Let's go auto scan. Just give it the old full Monty. I do like how clear this display is. It's very nice and simplified. It's a really simple machine to understand. So here we go, and now we've only just got one failing there. And that is the brake vacuum signal, sensor signal, which we know about. All the DPF information is gone. We've fixed those problems down to this machine. It saved us a massive garage bill, and it saved us replacing the DPF. It's absolutely fine, and everything is hunky-dory. So that alone is just worth its weight in gold. Absolutely brilliant bit of kit. The machine gives you all the data that you would expect from a code reader, a scanner, all the engine information, the coolant temperature, map sensors, pressure sensors, fuel rail sensors. It does it all for you. So there we have it. The XTOOL IP819 is another cracking bit of kit. It's got its really good uses in its own right. The key coding, we've got the DPF, which we were able to tell it that we'd replaced it to fix the fault. So it talks to the car really well. It'll do all your services resets, oil change, service reset. You can reset all the parameters for everything. Really impressed with that one. Price point, it comes in at about 550 quid. So it's middle of the road. It's not like £1,000 unit. It's not one of these cheap 30 quid units, but it does an awful lot of stuff. Bi-directional, talking to components on the car, giving you that little bit of extra power to do your diagnosis and repair. So yeah, one to think about, something for you to think about. I'll put some links in the description so you can get a bit of money off if you are interested in buying one. If the video's been of use, drop me a little thumbs up, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.